Sabe o Dallas, o criador da série The Chosen? Pois bem, recentemente ele compartilhou algo no seu Instagram que emocionou todo mundo. E claro, vim trazer essa informação em primeira mão para vocês. Então vem comigo descobrir qual próximo projeto ele está envolvido em mais um Jornal da Nuvem.
Hey there, we have, because this is definitely we have a very big personal announcement.
Olá, almas irmãs, tudo bem com vocês? Sejam muito bem-vindos ao meu canal. Esse é mais um Jornal da Nuvem. E hoje eu vim falar sobre o filme natalino que vai começar a ser gravado em dezembro pelo mesmo diretor da nossa série favorita, nosso amorzinho The Chosen. Mas antes de falar, eu gostaria de te pedir para não se esquecer de se inscrever aqui no canal se você ainda não é inscrito.
Tu sabia que a maioria das pessoas que assistem os meus vídeos não são inscritas no canal?
É mesmo, é?
Pois é, né? Se inscreva nesse canal, você vai estar sempre tendo as novidades da cultura pop cristã aí na sua telinha do celular, na sua telinha do computador, na sua telinha da televisão sempre. Então, se inscreve nesse canal, ativa as notificações para não perder nenhum conteúdo, tá certo? Agora vamos lá pro vídeo. A Lionsgate e a Kindle Story Company, as produtoras que são responsáveis por grandes filmes como Jesus Revolution e Ordinary Angels, unem-se a Dallas para um filme baseado num livro famoso lá dos Estados Unidos, chamado The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, que traduzindo é o melhor concurso de Natal de todos. Ele é um best-seller infantil escrito por Barbara Robson em 1971 e conta a história de 6 crianças desajustadas que se voluntariam para estrelar um musical de Natal da escola dominical e acabam ensinando à cidade o verdadeiro significado do Natal. O melhor concurso de Natal de todos os tempos se concentra nas crianças Herdman, que são absolutamente as piores crianças da história do mundo. Mas neste Natal, eles estão assumindo o controle da representação da igreja local e podem involuntariamente ensinar a uma comunidade o verdadeiro significado do Natal. Esse famoso clássico de Natal já foi adaptado para as telas e também para o palco de teatro, mas isso, claro, foi há muito tempo e é aí que entra o nosso querido Dallas. Em um vídeo emocionante ao lado da sua esposa, eles contam a história deles com este livro.
When our kids were little, I was in Pottery Barn Kids because I was one of those people that would go and just like play in the store. We couldn't buy anything, but we would just play in the store. And I saw something I could afford, which was this book sitting, oh, I've got a big Band-Aid, but sitting on the counter at Pottery Barn for $3. And so I grabbed it and took it home and decided we were gonna sit the kids around and we were gonna read this story to our kids. Dallas,
This time you read
it.
And
You did
within the first,
very poorly.
Yeah, because within chapter 1, we were seeing little things that I might even get emotional talking about now, because every time we talk about this book, we get emotional. But I started crying. And then I would gather myself and we'd kind of look at each other like, my goodness, why are we already crying? And then we get to chapter 2 and we would be laughing because it's so funny and so charming and so whimsical and so well written. And then we got deeper into the book and we got to near the end of the book because it's not that long and got to the big emotional climax and I was ugly crying.
Ugly crying.
E eu confesso que nesse vídeo eu me emocionei, né?
Depois que eu traduzi, óbvio.
Eu me emocionei em ver como Deus faz as coisas acontecerem, mesmo quando a gente acha que não existe mais nenhuma solução.
And I would just stop and I'd say, God, either give me this movie, that's my number one request, or if not, change my life in some way so that I can be okay with that, because I can't be okay with it now. Yeah. So every week for years. And the rights, every couple of years I would check up because the rights typically expire every couple of years at a studio if it's not made. And a couple of years would go by and I would check to see and the movie still hadn't been made. So I would check in with the rights holders. Now again, at this time, I'm kind of a nobody. Like meaning I've done a couple of movies, but they were all pretty low budget and not studio movies and had varying degrees of success. And these guys didn't really know who I was and they liked me, but they wanted to do a big studio movie, you know? And so, but I kept checking in, and every couple of years I'd hound these guys. I would text Darren or call Darren. I'd never, but unfortunately I don't have the rights. So I finally check in with Darren again, and he says, well, cool, the rights just lapsed. And I'm sending him videos, begging him, you know, and telling him why I should do it. He said, finally tells me, unfortunately we've decided to go with another studio. And so, you know, we love your passion, but we really want to do this with someone else. And I went to Amanda and I said, they said no. and I think it's over.
Ele conta emocionado que seguiu uma jornada de 15 anos para conseguir obter os direitos do livro. E quando pensou que não iria mais conseguir, estava quase desistindo de orar por esse projeto, tanto a sua esposa sentiu que não era um ponto final, eles falam no vídeo, quanto ele também sentiu que não era para deixar de orar por esse projeto.
And you were crying, and I was crying, and as often happens in our lives, God kind of gave you some reassurance in some way. What happened when because you were telling me this, you were reminding me of this the other day.
Yeah, I mean, we were crying, and it felt very final, and it was, I mean, really, as far as people were concerned. And I just got this overwhelming sense from the Lord of like, it's on hold. Like, just don't worry about it. I've got it on hold. I just had this strong sense of like, it's there, but it's under my authority. That's the sense that I got. And so it stopped my crying.
And here's what's funny is, while she was doing that, I didn't know. I went to the computer, and that taunting pray for pageant came up.
It became a taunting thing.
And it came up, and I went to click it off and delete it, and so that it wouldn't come up again. And I felt this sense of, don't do that. Don't click it off. This isn't over. So when she came to me and she said, I think it's not over. And I said, okay, I think it probably is, but I will tell you that I was kind of felt led to not click off that pray for pageant thing. And so I didn't. And so it kept coming up, and I would pray for pageant. I go, God, if there's anything you can do.
E essa história tão pessoal do diretor Dallas é uma verdadeira injeção de ânimo para todos nós. Porque muitas vezes nós achamos que os nossos sonhos não estão alinhados com os sonhos do Senhor apenas porque não está acontecendo no tempo que nós achamos que deveria acontecer. E ver as pecinhas se encaixando depois de um tempo, com certeza com a mão do Senhor estendida sobre os projetos e os nossos sonhos, é muito satisfatório e emocionante, não é mesmo?
And then finally I checked in again a couple years ago. I said, is there anything going on? And he goes, oh, wow, funny. Interesting that you texted me. I just, last week, the studio forgot to renew the rights. And I said, I have to make this movie. I said, I have a huge heart for kids. I'm good with kids. This book is about kids who are kind of, as the Bible would say, the least of these, as we might say now, others, meaning kids who are on the outskirts. Gosh, this story is so beautiful, and the script is so special. So it's coming out in theaters next year, 2024. It's going to be Lionsgate's holiday release, and we have a chance for a new Christmas classic.
Well, it's just a special family experience to go with your kids next year and as a family in the movie
because
theater.
It's not just a kids movie. It's like Christmas Story and Elf and Home Alone with an adult. It's so smart and witty.
Yeah.
And look at this. This book is so well worn because when I was reading it years ago, I was writing notes. There's little notes in here about the movie.
Este é um sonho que se tornou realidade e o filme que mais quis fazer durante toda a minha carreira, disse Dallas.
But this is one of the best moments of our career together, and I believe it's going to be a life moment for you because the message of this book and the script, along with the humor and the whimsy, and we're kind of doing it as kind of a realistic fairy tale. It's just so wonderful, and the message is going to impact you like it has us.
And pray for us to have endurance, and pray for the kids that are involved, the people who are involved in this movie, that they would see the story in a new way too.
Embora este filme esteja iniciando a produção agora em dezembro, a previsão de lançamento é apenas para 2024. E até lá vocês podem ficar ligadinhos aqui no canal e no meu Instagram também, @EviSouzaOficial, que eu estarei sempre atualizando vocês das notícias mais atuais desse filme. Não se esquece, se você gostou dessas informações com bastante antecedência, deixa um like nesse vídeo, comenta se você está empolgado para assistir algo novo do Dallas, que arrasou com The Chosen. Compartilhe esse vídeo com algum amigo que gosta das produções do Dallas. Muito obrigado por assistir até aqui. Um grande beijo, fiquem com Deus e tchau, tchau!